Thank you very much. I'll present what I have kind of prepared about the urgency of electrifying transport. I put it as a concurrently with 100% renewable electricity and recycling. All three will have to go together. And I'll tell you why they need to go together. There is pretty little doubt now that GHG emission is hurting us more and more. If you even look at the rainfall pattern in India, you see a very erratic rainfall happening year after year, and it is certainly due to the increasing GHG emission and global warming. So what do we need to do? We have to somehow get rid of fossil fuels. Completely get rid of fossil fuels. That is what is required. Fossil fuel is the primary reason for the green fuel, and we have to use green electricity instead. We have to use, therefore, what are our goals? First, 100% renewable energy through generate green electricity. We can't have coal generating electricity. We need to move there and move as rapidly as possible. Fortunately, cost of generating electricity using solar and wind is much cheaper than that using any fossil fuel. So economic reason is out. I think we need to just move faster on that. We need to convert then all the energy usage, including transportation, and today we will talk about transportation, to green electricity. If we keep again using fossil fuel, we are not going to get anywhere. Wherever we cannot convert our energy usage to the green electricity, we may consider green hydrogen or biofuels. I can talk about that, but today we will not talk about it. The next important thing is you use energy efficiently. Improve the energy efficiency so as to reduce energy consumption. If you look at the energy consumption of the world over the last 200 years, it's going up like this, like this, like this. If you keep going like this, no technology will be able to forever help us. We have to reduce our consumption and also improve energy efficiency. We waste a lot of energy. Why do we waste a lot of energy? Because energy has been cheap. The coal and oil has been cheap so far, and therefore we have been wasting energy, and we have to really, really worry about energy efficiency. Next, very important thing, recyclability. If you are going to create more waste, which means more and more things we have to dig out from mines, and then once again, that will mean larger and larger fossil fuel. So I think along with the task of electric vehicle, we have to have 100% green electricity, move everything to energy usage to green electricity, improve energy efficiency, and recycle. If you do all the things, and that's our task, we will talk today about one task. We will talk today largely about transportation. And in transportation itself, I have put three tasks. First is electrifying existing transport electric vehicles. That is already being talked about. The previous sessions also did that. Much of the exhibition is also on that. So I'll briefly touch upon that. Second, I think a very, very important problem is overcoming congestion in especially dense urban areas. Well, I'll talk about it. And then how do you carry goods across the country? I saw some very, very interesting example that we'll do battery swapping. And I think that's fine, but I think there are better ways to do about doing it. First, what's happening to electric vehicles? I think all of you already know that two-wheeler and three-wheeler today have almost similar costs to that of the petrol vehicles. Almost. They're still a little higher, but not much. And that we need to further bring down the cost. Fortunately, cost of batteries is already coming down. Cost of batteries was quite high about 1.5 years back. Today it is really, really low. And operation cost, of course, is becoming lower. So that advantage we already have. Four-wheelers, slightly more expensive. But again, costs are falling down. And I strongly believe that people should buy electric cars rather than petrol cars. It doesn't make any sense. And if you do, remember that operation cost is 8 rupees, depends on the size of the car, per kilometer. For our petrol vehicles, for this, it will be under 1 rupee. And that's something that we often forget. The third thing is electric trucks. And let's take first small distance trucks. Trucks, pickup trucks, whatever trucks. If you have 300 to 400 kilometer range, today the cost is similar to that of ICE. Slight higher, not very significantly higher, and it's falling down. And of course, much lower operation cost. So, small distance trucks, pickup trucks, and all that, there is no problem. Large distance truck is a problem because then battery requirement will become huge. And that I will talk about. Yes, we can do some battery swapping, but we have other things that we can also do. And let me talk about it. Yet what is happening? A lot of dilly-dally. Some state governments are saying, oh, we will extend concessions to hybrids. Just no understanding why. It continues to use fossil fuel. Most people, what they do, even though they say, even if it is a plug-in hybrid, and first 50 kilometers is supposed to be on battery, most people don't charge their vehicles. They get the concessions for hybrids and then run it like a petrol car. I think sooner we get rid of this whole thing. And I just don't understand why subsidize that. One government after first UP did it, now Delhi government has proposed. Central government is saying, no, I will not support that. But state governments are saying we will support that. And you know the reasons why that happened. Forgetting that hybrids also use fossil fuels. And if you're using fossil fuels, then I don't know what you are doing. The second, there are rumors being spread that EVs are not all that green. After all, you are not using green electricity completely. True. And we did a very simple calculation recently, and very, very important. We took a car, a sedan kind of car. We looked at what will be the emissions in terms of tons of carbon dioxide. If I look at petrol vehicle, manufacturing, including mining, what is called from the beginning to the end, it is 8.66. If I run 300,000 kilometers, it is 53.84 tons of carbon dioxide. Even on the other hand, for battery electric vehicle, yes, if there is a zero renewable, which is not the case, it will still be 9.6 plus 46.48. But what if happens as we completely start doing renewables and recycling? This number becomes 2.54 plus 0.03. Now we may not have reached today. So instead of 2.57, we may use 20. But as compared to 60, 70, our objective should be to push towards that. Instead, we are trying to push in the other direction. And I think that's a very important point. These are detailed computations that we did. We haven't yet released the report. We will soon be releasing the report. EVs need wholehearted support. Tax concessions to discourage petrol vehicles. We need to give tax concessions to electric vehicles. Already to some extent it's given. We need to extend that. And all petrol vehicles, including hybrids, etc., should not be given the concessions. We should support charging station. I think that's well understood. Even more rapidly, first, a multi-story building. We must mandate that anybody who uses electric vehicle and wants to park, you should be able to give a charging point at the place where they are parking. And you should have to ask them, or bring your wire all the way from for the 12th floor apartment all the way there. It just makes no sense. And I think it's very simple. Let the electricity board start giving a special EV line, and you can provide that. You can have billing for that separately. Very easily, all chargers have the billing. You can do that. Chargers could be either paid by the vehicle owner, or it can be a public charger and people can pay for that. Costs are very low. Mandate that all office and shopping complexes have EV chargers. Pay per use is okay. This is something that we should do early as possible. I don't know why that is not done. Incentives for chargers to be put on highways. I think that's already there, and that will have to be fast charging. EB distribution company should not charge 8 rupees, 9 rupees. But today they get solar for 2 rupees, 30 paise, 240. For wind, they get around 3 rupees. I don't see any reason they should charge more than 5 rupees. At least for the next several years, to encourage EV. EV line, if you want an EV line, yes, you should get an EV line at 5 rupees per kilometer with no one-time charge or no demand charge and things like that. I will come to a second problem that we often do not worry about. Instead of, we talk about EV, but if you look at mobility and transport, we need something. First thing that I will talk about, city congestion. My office is about 7 to 8 kilometers. Okay? If I started at 9 a.m., it would have taken me an hour to come here. In a city, 15 kilometers distance, 12 kilometer distance, it is taking 1 hour. 1 hour each way, 2.5 hours. Every one of us are wasting. And this is not in Chennai. Bangalore, it is worst. Pune, it is worst. Bombay as bad. Ahmedabad as bad. Delhi as bad. Kanpur is very bad. We need to figure out. So what did we do? We put impossible goals. We always like to do that. Even when we started with EV, we had put impossible goals. We said, we want to get you from home to office, if it's a 15 kilometers, in 20 minutes. If it's a 20 kilometer, maybe 24 minutes. If it's 25 kilometers, 27 minutes. End to end, no ifs and buts. An impossible solution. We deliberately take impossible solution and then we start building it. We also put other constraints, and that's very important. It should be fully green. Should be highly energy efficient. So very important. You can't just do, somebody was mentioning flying and all that. What does it mean? Do you realize the amount of energy that will consume? It should be buildable in existing cities. We are not going to change our cities. It should be able to handle the peak traffic. 500,000 or 1 million passengers in a peak hour. It should be affordable and comfortable. With these conditions, we started doing work a year back, and we have come up with a solution which we today have done all the simulation, all the simulation. We have done the basic design. We have done a toy model. And we are today already running this in a small manner. We are now developing the full-size one. By sometime in September, October of next year, we plan to put it in Sri City in the border of Tamil Nadu and Andhra. And then we will like to commercialize it. Fortunately, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister saw all this and he says he wants to put in Amravati. We are hoping to do this. And this can go to every congested city. 20 minutes for 15 kilometer, 24 minutes in 20 kilometer, home to office, including everything. This is something, if those of you are interested, come and visit us and we will talk more about it. Same thing, goods transport. From Chennai to Chandigarh takes 5 days by trucks. So even if you do battery swapping, it won't change. And as our GDP increases, the amount of truck transport required will go up by 8 times. Where are you going to carry it? And if you use rail, it takes even longer time. So once again, most goods carried by trucks, and we are coming up with alternate system end to end in 24 hours. Very similar kind of concept, but very, very different scales. And we know this can be buildable over the next 7 to 10 years. All the companies which are now working on trucking and other things should join hands with us. I'm telling you, we can build it. We can become the leaders in the world on this. And this can be done, buildable, make economic sense and make a business sense in India. Finally, green electricity is very important. And the most important thing for that is not just solar and wind, but green storage. Recently, 2 days back, I heard that Tamil Nadu has awarded somebody 500 megawatt hour. Already someone else has awarded 500 megawatt hour. Power availability depends on sun and wind, need energy storage to match. It goes along with the similar battery to what is needed in vehicles. Lithium ion battery has started, matured. We have designed and developed today a modular 1 megawatt solution completely done in India. It is there at IIT Madras Research Park, and it can be easily scaled, and we are starting to try to deliver 100 megawatt at 4 rupees per kilowatt hour. So if we use that, if the solar and wind prices, even with the battery, our cost will be lower than that of the coal, far lower than using petrol, diesel, gas, or anything else. Well, this is pretty much what I have to talk. Moving road transport to electric vehicle is highest priority. And I'm very happy that you people have organized this conference with that focus. Make charging of vehicles easier and less expensive. Support electricity becoming increasingly renewable. Speed up full recycling. Encourage solutions like city hashtag that I talked about. And could be another solution, doesn't matter. Look at something that will make congestion free, to overcome congestion while making transportation free. Start working on long distance green good transport. We'll need it. We can't talk about future India without that. That's all. Thank you very much.